What's up? It is Midwest Raider fans. We're coming at you with another video for our channel. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing. Make sure you do that. Check out our channel. We've been steadily growing some views, so I'm excited about that. Hopefully we can keep that going. Check us out, Midwest Raider fans. You got me, Midwest Raider, and you got Jimmy here, and we're giving you some good content with some stats, and talking about different off-season type issues that we've had. And like, we got a good one today. We got the quarterback controversy.
Yes. I think it's more of a controversy than I spoke before after looking, diving into the stats here. Definitely tough competition.
Yeah.
Going to be good, but yeah, make sure you like, subscribe.
Absolutely.
Keep following.
And I was, this guy's mashing stats over here, so it's pretty awesome. And he actually made me surprised about, the outcome. And so we're going to kind of go over some of this. So we're going to get into it, but we're going to talk about all the quarterbacks we have on our team right now, just to go into them, give you a little if you didn't even know, because I didn't know that we had a Carter Bradley. So we're definitely going to go over them just to let you guys know who they are, and then we'll talk about the main two between Aidan and Minshew. So we're going to get into it. So let's go ahead and get into. So we do have. I'll just put it out here, and then I'll let Jimmy go into the stats on everybody here. But we do have 4 quarterbacks, of course. We know with the Las Vegas Raiders, we do have a rookie, Carter Bradley. We have another one-year player of Anthony Brown, who I know we picked up from the Ravens. And then, of course, we picked up Gardner Minshew. And we, of course, have Aidan, who led us through, what was it, 8 games?
11.
11
I think 11
games.
started 11.
So he started 11 games last season and definitely had really good outcome from most of those games. There's a couple games that we won't talk about. He did pretty good for a rookie. He was a rookie last year. We have to understand he was a rookie.
Got thrown in the mix with all of our
drama that we had
going on.
So you kind of have to give him a little bit of a tap on the back, saying he made it through, and
and it seemed to improve every game too as the weeks went on.
So when you get thrown into that, you're just trying to stay above water. I mean, you're a rookie. You're getting thrown into the fire basically. You're the number one. You have to play with all the number one talent, with all, what they do and everything. So you have to mesh real quick, and that's kind of what he did. So, all right. So let's get into our rookie, Carter Bradley. Where's he from? What's going on with him?
All right. So he was out of South Alabama. Senior year, he started 11 of the 13 games that they played. He completed 221 passes, and he threw for 2,660 yards with 19 touchdowns. So very capable. Southern Alabama, South Alabama. Not sure what their competition really is. In that division there.
Yeah.
But he has decent stats. So if he makes the team, again, I don't know. I think that'll be a fight between him and Anthony Brown Jr. Kind of who's going to be our third guy. But he is capable. I did like that. In his junior year, he threw for over 3,000 yards there. So he's very capable. He's got an arm. He can throw the ball. He's got good completion percentage there. But again, that's South Alabama, so we're not talking like he's coming up playing all the big teams, USC, Ohio.
Is he a true passing quarterback, like staying in the pocket, or is he mobile? Or
he is more staying in the pocket. He wasn't very mobile. I mean, obviously every quarterback's got to be mobile at some point. But yeah, he was more staying back there in the pocket. We did pick him up undrafted, so that's how we acquired him this season. So it'll be interesting, kind of keep an eye on him. Again, I'm not quite sure which way they're going to go. To hold on, I'm assuming we'll keep 3.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking we're probably going to. Normally, we're keeping 3 quarterbacks. We'll send 1 to the practice squad or something like that. But 3 quarterbacks probably what we'll have. So it's going to be definitely competition between him and Anthony Brown. So let's go to Anthony Brown.
Anthony Brown, yeah. So I don't have a whole lot of stats on him, unfortunately. Obviously, he didn't play a whole lot. He played 2 games last year for the Ravens, and he only started 1 of those. He had 22 completions for 44.9, but he did throw for 302 yards. So he's kind of got an arm. Again, he's standing back there. He's not super mobile. He did have the 2 interceptions last year, but again, he played very limited. Obviously, playing for the Ravens, they didn't have him come in a whole lot. He's originally from Oregon. He played for Oregon there for a couple years, and he had some good years there. as we can see
Is
here.
he a little bit more of a dual threat, or is he
I,
a passer too?
I think he's more of a pocket passer. He is pretty quick, so he can get out and run. But that being said, yeah.
I did notice that he didn't throw any touchdown passes in that.
Yeah, so last year, yeah.
No touchdown passes.
No touchdown passes last year. But again, he only played in 2 games, started one of them at 44%. But he did have the 2 picks there. So there's that. So like I said, I think him and Bradley, I think will probably be duking it out to see who makes that 3rd position on the team. And then I think the other guy will go to practice squad. But I don't really have a preference either way. You just kind of duke it out and let's see, who can get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And he was from where again? Sorry.
So he came out of the Ravens, but then he played for Oregon in college.
Okay. So definitely, pretty talented level there in Oregon. So.
Yes.
All right. All right. So now we're going to start getting to some the stats you guys want to know about. When you actually grind these stats out, he showed me that these guys were very, very close between Aidan's 11 games and Minshew played, what, 13?
13
games. So they actually...
And actually, Aidan, 10 games.
Oh, 10 games. So 10 games for Aidan, 13 for Minshew, and listen to these stats. They're ridiculous. They're ridiculously close. So let's go ahead.
All right, so we'll just start with our guy, right? We currently got Aidan O'Connell. So he did, like I said, he started, he played in 11 games last year, started 10 of those games. He completed 213 yards passing, and that was on 343 attempts. And so he was averaging 62.1%. Then if we flip it and we look at what Minshew did, again, he was a Colt last year. Minshew played in 17 games. He did play all the games, but he only started 13 of those, and out of that he completed 305 yards passing, 62.2%. So we're talking a tenth, a difference between them. Yards we can talk about. So the yards are a little bit more different there. O'Connell obviously threw for 2,218 yards last year, while Minshew threw for 3,305 yards.
In 3 more games.
And only 3 more games. So
3 more games. So that's kind of significant. He had averaging 300 yards a game, I'm guessing.
Touchdowns are pretty similar. Minshew had 15 touchdowns, and O'Connell had 12. So again, we're, 3 different touchdowns, passing touchdowns. Interceptions were close with O'Connell throwing 7 interceptions last year, and Minshew threw 9.
Yeah. And you said for percentage, though, for completions.
Yeah, completions.
62.
62.1, and Minshew is 62.2.
That is crazy. That is crazy how close that is. And let's talk about a couple things. You brought this point up before we started making the video, that Gardner was playing with the Colts last year, and they had a horrible line. So if he could have had a little bit better line, I think he could probably, did a little bit better than he did. And he didn't do that bad for, averaging 300 yards a game. I know in the Chiefs game, Aidan didn't throw. He threw a ball in the first quarter, and then he didn't throw any more balls out the rest of the game. Minnesota was terrible. We can produce any offense. So at least Minshew was consistent. You could say he maybe didn't consistently win, but he can. What was their record? That's something we might want to look up. What was their 2 records for both of those players? All right, so we found the stats here, and let's go ahead and talk about their actual winning record for last year. So
so Minshew went 7-6 as a starter last year.
7-6.
7-6. O'Connell was 5-5. So they're, again, it can't be any closer. I don't know. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, and like I said, one of those games, technically, our defense stood up the Chiefs pretty hard that game. So your stat on...
Yeah, so if
we were talking about their line earlier.
So. Yeah, so the line. So here we go. So Minshew had 16 batted balls last year with 25 throwaways. O'Connell only had 7 bats with 19 throwaways. Mm-hmm. But, I think the big number here is Minshew was blitzed 169 times last year. Connell had 101, so still pretty close. But Minshew was hurried 32 times, where O'Connell was only 7. So, again, we kind of bring in that line. So I think it's going to come down to who meshes with that line best this year. We got 3 returning starters, so
Mhm.
there's going to be change there. Who can mesh up? And like I said, what could have Minshew done with with the Raiders line last year? Let's
Yeah.
say.
So
So it's close.
it is very close. I do see a little bit more improvement though with those stats with Minshew, of course, because he was able to be probably move around a little bit more. He's getting blitzed so much more, hurried a lot more. That does show that our offensive line was actually doing a pretty decent job last year. That he was only hurried 7 times, only blitzed, less than that, and all that. Oh, man, it does show that our line did actually pretty good. So very impressive. We still think, of course, that it is, I think, O'Connell's job to lose. And I think a lot of Raider Nation believes that he's our starter. So,
I'd agree. I don't see much changing. I know they got him taking the number one stats or number one hikes this year
yeah,
on the
yeah.
OTAs. Got him in that number one position. I don't know if we'll really see anything till maybe preseason. And again, then we're not going to have our full starter out there. Maybe a couple series to start with, and then maybe those last couple games we'll kind of get a little bit more. Um, so I don't know. I think
Yeah.
O'Connell, like I said, he improved every game last year. I know I'm kind of contradicting myself now because I know the previous video I said I think it'll be Minshew, but I don't know. After digging in, looking at these stats, they're pretty close. Like I said, we want to see what O'Connell does with pocket pressure, pocket awareness. Can he move, step up in the pocket, move out of the pocket, and
Yeah.
kind of see, look at that progression, working through. If, Devontae not open, then work through, none
Yeah.
of the,
Where's he going?
yeah.
And I've heard in some of the press conferences that that's the reason why we're kind of going with so many tight ends, that's going to be a relief for him, is that he'll be able to check it down to a running back or check it down to a tight end if his receivers are not open. So I think they are, thinking that they're going to probably stay with Aidan just for those reasons, that, they're looking for outlets for him to make quick check downs, and he'll be able to read that a little bit more, you would think, since, he's going to have a full off season, work with the number one team, with all the reps and all those types of things. So he definitely has a head start. But I'm wondering just how hard is the Oakland, the Las Vegas staff going to push this? Because, like I said, it's going to come down to maybe some preseason that we'll finally get to see both of these quarterbacks in action. And are they going to challenge them to actually show them who's going to, start? Are they going to say, if just start Aidan for like one half of one game, and then maybe Minshew in the next game with the first team, and see what he does in that game. How much are they going to push it to test him to see, or if are we just going to kind of see that Aidan is going to be the starter if they don't do something like that?
Yeah, I kind of hope that they push them. I want to
Yeah.
see. We all want the wins and see who's gonna. We want the best man out there.
Yeah.
Like I said, whether that's Minshew or O'Connell, we'll take it either way. Want the best man out there. But again, with just breaking down the stats just from last year from these two guys, I mean they're dead even. Like it's really hard to
Yeah.
pick one. I do like the coaching strategy. This is our quarterback. He started last year. Those last couple games there, 10 games, and we don't need that controversy. Oh, we brought
Yeah.
in Minshew, spent this money, so now you're going to take a step back. I like that. You're a guy. It's yours to lose. And he's got the mentality. So it'll be nice because he has a full offseason with the same coach. It'll be the same offensive coordinator. Again, I know he's new, so it's
Yeah.
different, going to switch it up a little bit on the plays there. But like it's going to come down to who can get the playbook down faster, who's going to mesh with, Devontae. Obviously, everything should
Yeah.
go through Devontae passing wise.
In my opinion, still, I believe Gardner is a better quarterback than Aiden, of course. He has the NFL experience. I'm going to give him that. He's got the NFL experience. I think he still probably has learned a little bit more of the pocket presence issues that I've seen with Aiden still. That's just something you can't learn in 11 games, in my opinion. That takes a couple seasons to learn, where do I need to step up into that pocket? Where do I need to roll out? What direction do I need to go when my line is collapsing? And definitely Gardner, we've seen the stats here that he's been tested by that 169 blitzes. So he's definitely been tested and had to roll out, move, make plays happen. And I think that gives him an edge, in my opinion. If I had to be the coach out there and make these hard decisions, but I would fully test that out in preseason, absolutely. And I let these guys battle it out. I literally start Aidan one half of a game and not even play Minshew, and then the next game start Minshew and not play Aidan, and just do a first. They get the whole first, first quarter, second quarter, and then we put in somebody else towards the end of the game. But that's how I would do it. But like I said, I really think it is Aidan's job because just like we said with coach and everything. But I do, in my opinion, kind of cross my fingers that I think Gardner would be a better option. But I will root for Aidan fully support Aidan if he gets a start. I'm not. I think it's just healthy competition. So
Yeah, and that's a good thing to
yeah,
have. I think we got both of them are very capable.
yeah.
I think they can lead this team again to the playoffs. I got playoffs in our future. So whether that's Minshew or O'Connell, but yeah, I completely agree. I hope that that's what they do. Let them duke it out, and best man on the field wins, and that's how it should be. Obviously, I think you viewers will agree with that. Maybe not, and let us know.
Yeah.
Comment, and we can kind of look it over. Like I said, kind of keep the video short here, kind of wrapping it up. So I think kind of some things to focus on here is going to be who picks up the new offensive the best. That's going to be key, I think, to who gets a start. I don't have any preference, obviously. They're both very talented and capable of doing it, but normally there's one that sticks out. But maybe they're dead even. They both know the playbook, in and out right now, which would be a good thing for us. So that's going to be a takeaway of, I think, eventually who gets that start. And then who meshes. Again, it's going to be a lot of meshing with the new, line. Who meshes best with it, so they can move around in that pocket where the protection is going to be when they need to, roll to the left, roll out to the right. And then again, everything I believe still has to go through Devontae. That's our number one receiver. I don't know anybody who would fight me on that, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments. We'll see. I think everything should go through him. He's earned that respect in that position. Obviously, he's a very talented guy. So I think everything should go through him, and who meshes up best with him, who's getting the ball in a better position to catch it, in that pocket, that bread and butter. So just some things, a little bit of takeaway there, and we find that answer out. I think we'll know who the quarterback is. Talked about the line there already.
Going into that just real quick on the offensive line, it will be interesting to see the movements that because it is going to have, I think when you said you only have 3 returning.
Yeah, 3 starters returning on the line. So
it'll be interesting who they fill in. I know we picked up first round talent, things like that, to plug those holes, and we picked up also people from other players. So we do have some talent, and we do have some picks that we can mix around if we need to. So that's always good. And competition, once again, all in those different departments. So we'll definitely be able to, find that out a little bit later. So I think we filled you in on what we think about the quarterback. I think bottom line, I'm just happy that there's competition, and no matter who gets the start, like I said, I am fully behind Raider Nation and behind that quarterback, whoever's starting for the Raiders. And it's just awesome to know that whoever is even backing them up will be ready to go too.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I said,
so I'm excited that we have a capable, whoever ends up being the backup is going to be capable of getting us some wins as well. So
yeah, obviously both capable. Again, I'm saying it, playoffs. I don't even care who the quarterback is. We just want the best man out there. But yeah, either of the two, I think, playoffs for us this year. I keep saying it. If I say it enough, wish it out there. You know what I mean?
All right, so that's all we got for you today. Please like, subscribe, and share if you thought this was fun or interesting, or got some stats. We're going to keep coming out with more content, more videos. So please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you really, really soon on our next video.
As always, go Raiders!